Dear Pennies and Pens, it's your girl, Lau Pen, CEO of ISLP, the InkSpot LLC. Back with another video for the Penny Black YouTube channel. Today's video is called Pens Rhythm Nation New Vinyl Pickups Part 3. I think I've shot several new vinyl pickup videos, vlogs, but I don't remember how many. I know I've done at least 2. I think I've only done 2, so I think this is part 3. As you guys know, when I do new vinyl pickups, I always usually share them here on the Penny Black YouTube channel. And it's been a while since I've done one of these videos because it's been a while since I bought new vinyl records because I was taking like a buying break because buying new records gets expensive. And to be honest, new records are blatantly overpriced. Like new records are 30 to 60 bucks. And obviously that's for current artists that are out right now. But as a collector, I've learned that I'm actually a lot into like just older classic stuff when it comes to records. So that's what I prefer to buy. Plus it's easier and cheaper to buy used records. So that's what I've been buying. So in today's vlog, that's what I'll go over, what I bought today, which are all classic used records. So you know what? I don't even really care about subscriber counts, like counts, and all of that crap anymore, so I'm not even going to say all of that anymore. Let's just go ahead and get into today's video. Now, I will say thank you so much for watching and checking out the Penny Black YouTube channel and supporting my business, ISLP, the InkSpot LLC, which for those that don't know is a Black and woman-owned business right here in Dallas, Texas. We've got a vegan fashion line called Pennies and Pens. Yes, the name that I call y'all, my viewers, watchers, watching this video is also the name of my brand because it's kind of like an all-encompassing name for my viewers, my followers, my customers. Pennies and Pens. Pennies for the ladies, pens for the guys. And so Pennies and Pens, like I said, is a vegan fashion brand. I'm wearing one of the pieces right now. This is actually a sample for our forthcoming. We're going to start doing sweatshirts and hoodies as well. So this is the L'Estilo Noir design. And so L'Estilo Noir just means the black pen in French. Because for those that don't remember Jay-Z's 2003 album, the Black Album, there's an interlude where it says L'Album Noir, and that's obviously the Black Album in French. And so I'm heavily inspired by Jay-Z and his amazing wife Beyonce, and so a lot of my work is inspired by them. So I was like, okay, I'm loud pen, you know, I want to do something like pro-black but also in French like Jay-Z, so how can I do that? So then I came up with L'Estilo Noir, which means the black pen in French. So that's a little bit about ISLP. So again, we've got the vegan fashion line, Pennies and Pens. We've also published 3 different books, produced 4 travel guides. So go to islpdtx.com, which will be linked in my description box to learn more about ISLP, because we are a creative production company and multicultural creative agency. So we do a mixture of creating our own products as well as providing branding, marketing, PR, website design for clients. And so, yeah, started ISLP originally, founded it in 2015, really started getting serious in 2020, and still here in 2023. So thank you to the Most High for that. So let's finally get to the topic of today's video, which is Pens Rhythm Nation, new vinyl pickups. So for those that don't know, I actually started my record collection 2 years ago. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I started my collection in January of 2021. I have I took out a couple records from my collection, and so I did that like last year, sometime at the end of 2022, but I've picked up a couple of more since then, and obviously picked up some today, but I'm just going to go through the ones that I picked up today because I've never done this vlog when it's like literally fresh in my mind. And so there's this record store here in Dallas called Josie Records, and it's just like my favorite record store. I can get lost in Josie for hours. They have like just the most amazing collection of records. Like, it's so freaking cool. So I actually decided to really expand my collection today and really get some old school classic stuff. Because I went to this event last night that was hosted by the African American Museum of Dallas. And so they had an all-black orchestra there called the Scott Joplin Orchestra. And I had never heard of Scott Joplin before. I don't know how I missed that. But he was a famous Black American musician, composer from I guess believe the height of his fame was in the early 1900s. So I had never heard of him before. And so today when I was in Josie, that's the first record I got. So let's start there. So I got this collection of Scott Joplin's work. And so it's a collection of 16 classic rags. So that's the kind of music that he composed, was ragtime music. And again, that was popular in the early 1900s. And he's credited with changing the face of American music. So I cannot wait to play this record. I haven't played it yet. I was on the phone with my cousin Quincy for a long time. He's like one of my cousin, but he's also one of my best friends. So we were on the phone for a while. Then I talked to my parents. So I can't wait to listen to this record later on tonight. But yeah, so I can't give any kind of review or feedback on his music. So I'm not even going to try that. But I am going to share the facts that he was a famous Black American composer. And I know, yeah, the height of his work was from 1897 to 1917. So again, the last 3 years of the 1800s and then throughout the early 1900s. So this is going to be some really, really classic music, and this is probably what I'm going to play first. But that's what he looks like, just to give a close-up. But yeah, so I'm so excited to listen to this record. Like I said, I really wanted to go classic. I wanted to go into like some ragtime, some classic jazz. I really wanted to hear more of that vibe right now because, like I said, as I grow and expand my vinyl record collection, I'm just like, I want to hear a little bit of everything. I like my contemporary stuff, but I also want to hear like this old classic music that was way before my generation in time. You guys know eventually I want to break into the music industry. So this is what's going to help me actually do that and become a great composer and producer and musician myself, is actually listening to a diverse collection of music from different eras, from different artists of all different, eras of music, different backgrounds. I mean, you guys see it on my wall behind me. I got a mixture of some Marvin Gaye posters with some Mamamoo, which is a K-pop girl group. There's also Toni Braxton. You probably can't see the Toni Braxton because she's cut off, but then there's the Toni Braxton poster right there and a Monica poster. So I got a collection of different stuff. So, that's what I'm trying to do to diversify my ear as a emerging musician myself. I'm trying to listen to a lot of different type of stuff so I can incorporate that one day into my own work. So the next record I got, Duke Ellington. I have been on and off obsessed with Duke Ellington since my middle school years. I did a report on him when I was like in 7th or 8th grade because I don't know how, my parents are very pro-Black people, so I was raised to really have a love and appreciation for Black American culture. So I don't remember exactly how I heard about Duke Ellington, but I do remember as a young girl developing like a fascination with him and his music. And I had read this whole book that was a biography on Duke Ellington and his life. And so I just had this whole fascination on him. So finally, I'm going to actually hear and listen to some Duke Ellington, some of his music. And part of the reason why I didn't, even when I first heard about him as a young girl, is because, you couldn't really get access. I'm in 7th, 8th grade. It's not like I can drive. It's not like I have any money. You know what I'm saying? And then that was before the times, because y'all know I'm a millennial. I don't tell my age because I'm 22 and a half on paper and out loud in public. But as a millennial, you couldn't just get on the internet and like Google somebody's name and go on YouTube and listen to their music. You didn't have that easy access back then. So I had never really actually like heard his music for real. Like I probably heard like bits and pieces over the years, but like really sitting down and listening to a Duke Ellington record, I've never done. So I'm also excited to listen to this. So this is just a record of some of his greatest music. So I'm really excited to really listen to this. I don't know when this record was pressed, but I'm really, really excited to hear this. And I see, like, even in him in front of this modern technology, like, well, it was modern at the time to have, like, a microphone and all of that. But I know Duke Ellington first, they say the most important performance he did was on December 4th, 1927 at the Cotton Club in Harlem. Can you imagine being at the Cotton Club in Harlem in 1927? That was probably a cool-ass night. To hear Duke Ellington, anyways, can't wait to listen to it again. I cannot offer no review. Talk about Duke Ellington's music. Oh, it's Ellington Uptown. That's the name of the record. Sorry, y'all, I can't read. I really just picked it up because it's Duke Ellington. The record was only $4. But I can't wait to listen to this tonight. So I'll be listening to all the records I got tonight. Like I said, I haven't had time because I was like on the phone with everybody all day. Next record I got, Nancy Wilson. Again, I told y'all I was in a jazz orchestra, old school vibe. I want to hear some music that came out way before Penny was ever even thought about. So this is Nancy Wilson. I mean, I've obviously heard of her over the years, famous jazz vocalist, but never actually really listened to her music. I'm very particular about my album covers, so even when I buy a classic album, I want to see like a dope cover. And I'm just sorry, like as a black woman, it's a pretty iconic cover. You know what I'm saying? So I'm vibing with that. And I believe this record, it would have been from, I want to say this is like from like the 1960s or something. Oh, it do has a sleeve. Cause y'all saw the record is poking out. I don't know what year this album is from. Let's try to see if we can find out. Cause that's the only thing. Sometimes with the older albums, they don't give you the year that it dropped. So I'm trying to look to see. Do I got a year on here? Do I get a year? No year. There's no year on here. Dang, I want to know when this came out. Okay. It look to be about the 1960s because it's a color album cover. And they really did start doing color album covers, at least in the 1960s. And then from her hairstyling and her outfit, that looked 1960s to me. So I'm going to guess 1960s something. All right. Next record, totally different direction. I have a record by this group already, but this is a girl band from the 80s called Klymaxx. I have a record by them that I absolutely love. So I just decided to cop this too because it was only $5. But yeah, Klymaxx, like I said, they're a black girl band from the 80s. And does it have a sleeve? Nah, this shit ain't got no sleeve. It's just in there. I should have only paid $1 for that. It ain't got no sleeve. Okay, next record, really excited about the Jacksons. And what's cool about this Jacksons record that I love is this is when it's the 6 brothers. So this is Michael, Tito, Jermaine, Randy, Jackie, Marlon, all 6 Jackson brothers. Because remember, the band was originally just the 5 brothers, which would have been Jackie, Jermaine, Tito, Marlon, Michael. Then Randy came later. Because remember, Randy younger than all of them. So Randy came later. So this is when they older, they grown men, they adults in this album. This album, yeah, this from 1984. So this is after Off the Wall and Thriller, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up, y'all. Let me go grab Thriller and see what year Thriller dropped. We ain't Googling it. We gonna look at the record and be old school. Hold up. Yeah, Thriller was 82, y'all. So this Thriller, obviously Ben had Thriller. Thriller came out in 82. So it's still, because that's a narrative that a lot of millennials, Gen Z behind me don't realize about Michael Jackson. Even after he went solo and had 2 of his most famous albums, Off the Wall and Thriller, he still was making music with the Jacksons, with his brothers. And one of my favorite Jackson songs is on this album. It's called State of Shock. I love that song because it's such an early 80s vibe, and all of the 6 of the brothers worked together to produce this record. So a lot of people don't realize, like, all 6 of the Jackson brothers, this is one of the most iconic bands of all time, off the strength of they were brothers, are brothers, because only one brother is deceased, which is Michael, sadly. Rest in peace and power, King. Can't get my words out today. But all 6 brothers were these extremely talented musicians working together within the same band. I mean, same mom, same dad, working together within the same band, creating some of the best, greatest music of all time. Like, I'm even reading the credits now. There's a State of Shock was produced by Michael, Wait did by Steve Porocco and Jackie. Then there's a song on here, Torture That, or We Can Change the World, that was produced by Tito. You know what I'm saying? Marlon got a song on here he produced. Randy got a song on here. There's no song on here that was produced by Jermaine, but I have several Jermaine Jackson records. very talented musician and producer as well. So that was another iconic thing about the Jacksons as a band and as the brothers that a lot of millennials just don't know. And part of the reason we don't know is because it's before our time. I mean, which of us was actually even born in 1984 to even know that an album like this came out? You know what I'm saying? So we was either toddlers, because the millennial generation does start in 1981 and then goes all the way up to 1996. But even then, you would have either been a toddler or a young kid. You know what I mean? You would have been a toddler or not born at all, I mean to say, when this record dropped. So as a millennial, you won't really know about the Jacksons. And then as a Gen Zer, you definitely don't know. So unless you've been Googling them, you've been told certain things by people that's older than you, people who 50, 60, 70, you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? So, because we got to get out of this narrative. Michael Jackson left the band. He went solo. He was more successful than his brothers. That's just not really true. Like, all six of these guys were because his five brothers still living of the six, are the greatest musicians of all time. All right? So that's that record. Last and final record, as I said, Jermaine. Y'all, I don't know why, but besides Michael, because they all did solo music, I don't know if Jackie ever really did solo albums, but I know Jermaine obviously did. This is my third Jermaine Jackson record. Tito obviously did. I'm not sure if Marlon did any solo music either, but I know obviously Tito did, as I said, Jermaine did, and of course Michael. But Jermaine, besides Michael, as far as solo music, is the brother that I don't know why Jermaine has this vibe that I just vibe with. I just vibe with Jermaine. Like, I already got 2 Jermaine Jackson records. I have Let's Get Serious, and then the self-titled Jermaine Jackson record, which actually has a duet with Michael on it, which is pretty dope. But I got this one today. This is another self-titled album. It's just called Jermaine. So this one dropped in, I think this one came out in the late 70s. I think I looked it up and it had the late 70s on here because it's when he was still with Motown. Yeah, this is 1980. So, and the reason why, because I was in debate of which Jermaine record I was going to get while I was in Josie, because obviously they had several, because Jermaine had, for those millennials like me and Gen Zers, like Jermaine had like at least 7 solo albums. So he had a following, you know what I'm saying? He's obviously not making music right now. But in this heyday from the 70s to the 80s, Jermaine was killing it as a soloist. So he was doing his thing. And Jermaine's music is, and I think that's why I do gravitate towards him, is because his music is very R&B. And you know what I'm saying? Michael's music was different. It was a mixture of that R&B and that pop sound. Again, this is about their solo music, not their group work as the Jacksons. Now, hopefully, eventually, I can get my hands on some classic Jackson 5 records from when they were, from when Michael was young and his older brothers were like teenagers. Hopefully, I can get my hands on those, but it's harder to get those. But I really was vibing with Jermaine's outfit and styling on this album cover, because it's just so dope with the afro and then the riding pants. I don't know, something about the cover, just like I said, I'm particular about my album covers. I'm really into that, and I just really vibe with this. And the cool thing about this is, I had mentioned briefly in another video, is that Jermaine was married to Hazel Gordy. Well, when they were married, it was Hazel Gordy Jackson. That's one of the daughters of Berry Gordy. And obviously, hopefully y'all know that Berry Gordy was the founder and CEO of Motown, the most iconic music label of all time. Hopefully y'all know stuff like that off the top of your head. Hopefully. I don't know what you've been doing when you're not on the internet. I don't know. Anyways, that's why I gravitated towards this record, because the other record I thought about buying was one that he did in the late 80s with Clive Davis. But the reason why I didn't pick that one up is because even though it was executive produced by Clive Davis, who's a phenomenal musician and knows what he's doing when it comes to music, is because most of those songs on that album weren't produced by Jermaine. And I was like, I don't know, because the 2 albums I got, it was produced by Jermaine. And I like the way Jermaine composed and produced music. So I was like, I don't know. And then it was like $8. I don't like to spend more than $7 on a used record. Just don't be doing all of that. So anyways, this is the last and final record that I got. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it down now in this video because I gotta go. But thank you so much for watching. Like I said, checking out the Penny Black YouTube channel and supporting my business, ISLP, the InkSpot LLC. I'll let you guys know in a future video what I think of all of these records, but I have literally never heard a single one of these albums in its entirety, so I cannot offer any sort of review, but I'm very excited because I think I got a good collection of different diverse stuff. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Peace.